Welcome to the video.
Hi and welcome to the AAF Central Minnesota American Advertising Awards How-To video. I'm Anita Hollenhorst, past ADDY chair and current president of our club, here to walk you through the steps on how to enter our club's ADDY competition.
History!
The American Advertising Awards, formerly known as the ADDYs, are the advertising industry's largest and most recognized advertising competition, garnering about 40,000 entries every year. The entries are judged, and a fun, theme-inspired show is held to honor our club's student and professional entries. From there, winning entries move on to the district and hopefully the national competition. We've had great representation from our AAFCM club, and we expect nothing less in the future.
Submit online.
So, visit addfedcentral.com. addfedcentral.com. Once there, read through the summary of all the rules. You'll also see a link to a PDF of the official AAF rules and categories. This has everything you need to know about all the categories and where you should enter your work. Anything in red on here in this PDF is new information for this year. It's changed from last year. So once you're familiar with all of the rules and categories, click on the Submit an ADDY Entry link on this year's page for the event. From there, you'll be directed to the official American Advertising entry site. It'll walk you through the process for entering your work. If you haven't logged into their system before, you'll have to create an account. Pretty simple. After filling out all of the online bits and pieces of information, you'll get to a page where you'll need to print your manifest and invoice. You'll see the word manifest up in the corner. Make sure you print that. Once your entries are all in and you're set with them, it'll list every single entry that you've done. And in this case, we only have one, so it's not very long. But you're going to need this form, and you're going to need to deliver it with your entries, and you need to sign it at the bottom. That's your manifest. You're also going to want to print an entry form for every single piece that you entered. You're actually going to want to print 3, and I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Prepare entries.
Okay, so you've gone through all the online stuff. Now it's time to prepare and mount your entries. First, you need to have 3 copies of your entries. And why 3? Well, 2 of them are going to be used for judging. And in that case, if you go from our club competition to district to nationals, they want an extra copy in case something happens. Because the judges are going to be looking at it, touching it, feeling it, whatever. They want to make sure there's 2 copies that are going to be placed in an envelope. The third one is going to be mounted, and that's only for our advertising competition, because we display all of the entries that come into our competition. So that third copy of the entry is going to be mounted to a 16 by 16 inch black crescent board or tag board. Now, if you don't have a flat piece, say you have a 3-dimensional piece that you're entering, we'll have a table to display those, and if it's a digital piece, it'll be shown on the screen. So don't worry about those pieces, but if it's a physical piece, mount it, and it can be mounted to a blackboard like this, please do so, because we show them in a really nice way, and we want your work to be presented in the best way possible. Alright, now, back to work. So, the next thing you want to do, you have your entry form here. Cut these off on the bottom. These little tags correspond and have information that we use to identify your entry. So cut those off, mount them to your 2 copies that are going to be placed in the envelope on the back. So this is the front side. On the back side, mount those little entry tags. And you're going to take your second copy of the entry form and fully mount the whole thing on the back of the black crescent board. So 2 entries here, tags on the back, 1 entry on the board, entry form on the back. Now, if you have a campaign, you can still use the boards. You can use more than 1 if you want to. Make sure when you're labeling them, you say, 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3 on the back side, so we know that they all go together. So, you've prepared your entries. They're set to go. If you have a 3D piece, put that label on the bottom or the back, somewhere where we can find it. If you don't have a nice, piece like this and it's a big book, say it's something floppy like this, make a pocket for it. If it's too heavy, like I said, we'll put it on the table. Don't worry about mounting it because we don't want it falling off the board in the middle of things. So, if your entry is three-dimensional and it's small enough to fit in an envelope, do that. Put it in the clear envelope. If it's not, put it in a box. Put it in a box. Put the entry tag on there. And then whatever kind of piece it is, make sure there's a tag on it. Tag on it. Okay? So you have your whole campaign in there. If it's three-dimensional stuff and can't be mounted, it's in the box. It's ready to go. So, you've mounted one copy if possible, and you've adhered your ID labels to the back of the board and the entries themselves. The other two, so you have your two entries here, and you have your entry form. They're going to go in this envelope. And, ideally, we like the entries facing one way, entry form facing the other. This is the best way possible. If it has a flap with a little thing, that's fine too. If it needs to be bigger, that's fine. A clear envelope, two entries facing one way, the entry form on the back side. Now you're ready for delivering your entries.
Deliver your entries.
Okay, you have your entries all ready to go to be delivered. You have your entries, you need your manifest form, and you need payment if you didn't pay by credit card through the online system. You have that option, or you have the option of paying with a check. So if you didn't pay online, include your check, your manifest form, your entry. Drop it off at one of the predetermined locations, and those are listed on the website. There's usually 3 of them. Make sure you drop them off by that deadline, otherwise we can't accept your entries. Even if you entered online, if you didn't drop off your physical entries with us by the deadline, they're not eligible for the competition. So, with that, you sit back, cross your fingers, and you wait for the show when we present the awards.
Cross your fingers. And good luck!
We thank you for entering the AFCM American Advertising Award Competition.